Let's work on materials. I will turn off the material override option. Also, let's switch the background color to solid gray. Great! I will isolate the building walls. As you can see here, we have an object with multiple IDs. I will start by adding a UVW map and turn on the option Real World Map Size. Then let's add 3 Corona physical materials and 1 multi-sub object material with 3 IDs. Plug the Corona materials into the multi-sub and apply it to the object. Here are the textures for the main wall material. I will add them to the material editor and plug them into the material. Let's switch to Real World Scale and set it to 100 centimeters. Do the same for other maps. Plug the color map into the base color slot and check the scale. I think it's too small, so let's increase it to 200 centimeters. Don't forget to do the same with other textures. I will plug just the displacement for now. Turn on the interactive render and adjust the displacement scale. I will actually add the normal textures into the bump slot as well. It has to be larger. I think it looks good now. Let's plug the color texture. I will add the ambient occlusion map and mix it with the color map. Great. Next, plug the roughness map. The material is super dark, so I will brighten it using the color correct map. I will increase the gamma. I will turn off the fast preview as the denoising affects the small details during rendering. For the inside walls, I am just going to adjust the color and keep the default material. It's not visible, so I don't want to waste any memory on the textures here. Here are the curtain textures for the third material. I will also set it to Real World Scale and adjust the sizing. Here you can check the dimensions of the texture. You can see it's a 3:4 ratio. So I will set it to 75 centimeters and 100 centimeters to keep the proportion. Let's add the other textures. Don't forget to add the correct sizing to each texture. I think the material is too reflective. Let's add the color correct map to the roughness texture and increase the brightness. I will also try to make it more contrasty so we have more details in the reflections. I will also use the brick material for these elements in the foreground. For the chimneys, I will also use the same brick material, but I will make it darker. Copy the material along with the mix and color correct maps. Let's apply the material and make it darker. I will only reset the gamma value. Adjust the mapping. I'm happy with that. Next, let's create the metal material. I will switch the mode to metal and adjust the color. Also, make it way more reflective by decreasing the roughness. Looking good. I will use the roughness texture from the curtain material to add a little bit more detail. I will zoom in to see more details. I think it's not reflective enough, so I will lower the roughness to 0 and decrease the map amount to 50. This way we will get the more reflective material. Let's apply this material to the other metal elements, including roof. Here is the effect. Now I think that the material is not reflective enough. So let's just go back to the map amount of 100. Looking better, but I will also vary the reflections and plug the darker map there, so the reflections match the sky. Looks better, but let's make the metal a little bit brighter. I'm happy with the result. Here is how the progress looks so far. I will also apply the brick material to the fence. Looks good. Next, let's create the pavement material. Here are the textures from Reroad. Let's add them to the material editor and plug everything together. Add the color correct map and adjust the color a bit. Also, let's add an ambient occlusion map and mix it with the color map. Switch the output to multiply. Adjust the displacement value. Make it stronger. Looking good. I think the map is too saturated though. I will decrease the saturation and maybe I will make it a bit darker. Let's add the roughness map. Great. I will duplicate the material and use it as a concrete. Here are the textures. Let's add them to the material. I will adjust the scale of the mapping. Reflections and displacement are too large. I will start by adjusting the displacement. Then let's work on the roughness map. I will make it brighter to reduce the reflections. Great. I will add this material also to the building site. Remember to set up the correct mapping. Lastly, let's work on the asphalt material. I will copy the base material again and replace the textures. Adjust the mapping. I think we need to work on the color map a bit. Let's make it a bit darker. Not too much. I think the mapping is too small, so I set it to 200 centimeters. And lastly, let's make the displacement larger. Maybe a bit more. Great! That's it for this lesson.